Mike Mimoni is a piano playing singer, songwriter, and producer. And he's averaged over 100, this is fabulous, 100 tour dates a year since 2006 as a solo artist with his trio Mutts as a seasoned keyboardist. And in 2023, you played cues with Stevie Wonder to pay tribute to his late husband, Howard Brown, who was a very well-known entertainment industry publicist. He's since produced an album and written an accompanying book about love, loss, and healing, set for release in February 2026. So congratulations. And without further, are we ready up there? Yeah. Without further ado, Mike is going to perform his new song, Butterfly. So let's give it up for Mike Mimon.
Thanks, Stephen. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, I lost Howard 2.5 years ago, and I spent that time making an album for him. It's about love, and it's about loss, and as I processed my grief in real time through writing the songs, I realized it was an album about healing. And I have a book that goes along with it, and they come out in February. But as is customary in music these days, I'm rolling out one song at a time, which is good because it's allowing me to tell the story one song at a time. And so this one just came out. It's called Butterfly, and we're at a film fest, so I figured I would perform to the music video. So I muted the vocal, and I'm going to sing it. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, I brought CDs and records, and I'm going to be at Oscars on October 17th, if you guys want to come see me play the piano. No, feels good. Okay, good. No, turn it up. Mornings I'm a bull in my own brain, smashing porcelain plates, shattering my china dolls, turning everything beautiful sharp. Soft and slow, you gently come to me, singing soothing melodies. You put that beast to sleep, help me smooth out each jagged piece. I can't recite your lullaby alone, and the slumber won't last long. I need you here with me, so whisper to me in the falling rain. Embrace me with sunshine on my face. I want you to look up and call me time, and say hi when you wave to me. Crying at the flowers stand alone doesn't make sense to me, but the world's still full of beauty. It's unrelenting. I'm a thorn on a scene in this bouquet, not meant for this place, with vibrance all around me. I'll win everything. You wouldn't come home this look on me. You tell me go easy. I need to hear you say yeah. Whisper to me in the falling rain. Embrace me with sunshine on my face. I'll want you to look up at coffee time and say hi when you wave to me. Whisper to me in the falling rain. Embrace me with sunshine on my face. I'll You woke up at coffee time and say hi when you wave to me with a butterfly. Whisper to me in the morning rain. Embrace me with sunshine on my face. You woke up at coffee time and say hi when you wave to me with a butterfly. That's for Howard.
Give it up one more time for Mike Maimoni. Thank you. Jesse, are you out there with chairs? Okay, we're just gonna kind of wait. So I'm gonna introduce one more time the filmmakers, but first our moderator this evening is the co-founder of the Bent Theater Company. He's the managing director, and we want to congratulate, here he comes, Mr. Terry Ray on the Bent Theater Company receiving 45 Desert Theater League Award nominations. You want to take a seat? We'll just they're bringing us more chairs. Okay, so here we go. Man Crush, actually Richard couldn't be with us tonight. More Than He Knows, Chris McNeely and Helena Alexis Seymour, come on down. Unfollow, Mike and Moni, come back, wherever you are. Stay in Behavior, Tyler C. Peterson and Anthony Han, come on down. Stalls, unfortunately, Dal Stella could not be with us tonight. Saturday Ritual, Sydney Orton, come on in, Sydney. Voice Down, Rick Simone Friedland and Tom Addox Hernandez. You guys up there? Come on up. Old Girl in the Tutu, Director Sherry Galkey. Vocals, No Privacy, Lonnie Paul Johnson and voiceover artist Jason Stewart. Light, Daniel Talbot. And also welcome to Tool Shed, Daniel Talbot. So, and Daniel's carrying the chairs. Thank you so much. And here is Terry Ray.
Hi, everybody. Wow. Can you believe this? Okay. Has everybody got a chair? Cool. Yes. Okay, first of all, let's hear it for all of these filmmakers and all of their amazing teams. Awesome. Do you guys have a single microphone anywhere? Is there another microphone?
There's three. Oh, yeah, should be three. It's right there.
Okay.
Of that light.
All right, so I'm going to cheat because there's so many of you. So I don't know how to do it any other way. But I want you to each introduce yourself and pretend like I asked you the best question you've ever been asked about your film, when you've always wanted to be asked, and answer that question. Okay? We'll start down there.
All right, so the best question that could be asked is, what was it like filming in Palm Springs in August? So, turns out that Palm Springs in August is hot, which I'm sure is news to everybody. So the hotel that we shot at, La Dolce Vita, it was their off-season, so that made the most sense for us to shoot then. The crew did start to overheat. We had tried to shoot everything that was outdoors in the morning, but I was going around with a face cloth and ice packs and ice cubes to put on their foreheads, and luckily it all worked out beautifully. And actually, just one bit of trivia here is that when Paul and Steve saw More Than He Knows, they told me that they spent their honeymoon at La Dolce Vita before they moved to Palm Springs. And when they saw the room that we filmed in, they said they're pretty sure that they stayed in that room.
Wow.
Oh, I'm Chris with More Than He Knows. They just told me I didn't introduce myself under detail.
All right, we gotta just say that you're straight and you made a gay film, right? No?
No, I'm bi.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, I heard a rumor, so I'm wrong. So great.
Well, the guy that was opposite me is straight.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Hi, I'm Helena Alexis from More Than He Knows. I'm straight, but that doesn't matter. I've kissed a few girls. The best question I think is, am I still friends with everyone that I've worked with? And yeah, like Chris and I are pretty best friendy. Like, so is Elizabeth, my girl crush in the film. Like, we're best friends. We have this crew that we call like game night, and every other month we get together. I was at your place for Thanksgiving. Like, we really like formed a bond before we got on set, and it continued after. So, I love you. And I was at your wedding.
My name is Mike Maimoni. For Unfollow, I did 5 different versions of the song in different genres, and I knew that I needed to have someone voice the X for the Unfollow version, and I had no idea who. But I went to Tom Goss's Queer Connections, kind of like hang out, meeting other creatives up in LA, and I met Jules the Lion, and we were playing each other other songs, and he's also kind of funny with his music, and I like to put humor into a lot of my songs, and so I just knew that that was it. So I went to Tom Goss not only for the song, but the video.
Hi, I'm Tyler C. Peterson, the writer and director of Stand Behavior. Don't know what I want to be asked, but I'll just say the most common thing was, what's it like working with drag queens and directing them? I'll just say that we cast the drag queen roles as we would have any other role in any film, and they were actually really professional and great to work with, and all the gals we worked with were amazing. So if you have a role for a drag queen, cast them because they're amazing. Give them more parts because they deserve to have more parts than just like a walk on and like a TV show or a movie where they just have like come on and like say a zinger and that's it. Give them better parts than that.
Right. Yeah.
Hey everyone, my name is Sydney Horton, and I wrote and directed. Thank you. I wrote and directed Saturday Ritual. Similarly, I don't know what I want to be asked per se, but a common thing that comes up is how did I come up with the idea? Kind of what I said in my little intro was it actually happened to me in high school. My friends and I like started this weird tradition after coaching and playing soccer of seeing different psychics in rural Indiana. It was like $10, see 3 psychics, and they'd always say like really off the wall random stuff that was like not believable until one day it was very invasive, and this woman was very combative and very insistent that I was gay. And I was so mad because I wasn't exposed to queerness, and so I was just shell-shocked. And I was like, why am I gay and they're not gay? Because we were wearing the same outfits too, like we coached in the same outfits, hair was the same way. I was like, what's the difference here? And I like had to hop in the car after and had that very like moody, silent ride back with my friends, just kind of like, are you gay? And I'm like, no. And like my mom was so pissed we were going to psychics because we grew up religious too. And this was the first time where she was like, so how did it go? And I was like, we're over it. We don't like psychics anymore. They're dumb. You're right. So it was really funny. And as I like grew into myself, realized I'm gay and I fucking love it. I was in college and I was like, I think I like girls, and texted those same friends that I experienced that with. And they're like, yeah, we knew that. And the psychic was right. Yeah, we made it more exciting and funny rather than dramatic. And now we're on the hunt to find that woman again. We all like blacked it out because I think we all were a little just like, oh my God, what just happened? But so far, no success.
And you didn't suspect at all, not one little iota.
No, not one little iota. I mean, reflecting now, it like makes sense. I would skip school to watch like Sophia Bush and One Tree Hill, but I thought I just wanted to be her like best friend, not like with her or on her, you know. So it's just no. But what's funny is we've seen so many psychics like as we got more comfortable with it and got over that, but numerous psychics have said she's gonna have twins, and they're gonna start trying, and like she's actually married. They're gonna start trying in like the next year or two. So I'm waiting.
Wow.
This one's. Hi, I'm Sherry Galkey, old girl in a tutu, Susan Many. I think my intro answered kind of the two big questions, which is how did I first come to know Susan, which was the story of the book she did in the 1970s, and also just I realized that why I wanted to make this film was that you never see butch lesbians in their 80s who are funny, and she's just such a great role model for me as I'm aging. So I already said those things, so I guess this film, I've been working on a feature film called Acting Like Women, about feminist performance art, 1970s to 80s Los Angeles, and it's been such a long 6-year project that I've been making shorts along the way, so this was just my latest one, and I'm kind of using it as a bit of a calling card out in the festival circuit to sort of reconnect with programmers, and so I'm always happy to, show it, and it's just when you're working on a feature, it's such a long, arduous process that it's fun to make something short. So I shot this with my iPhone. It was supposed to be super simple, super cheap. Nothing is ever simple and cheap. But she does her work with an iPhone and an iPad, so I wanted to kind of keep it in that world. And so that was really fun to realize I don't need to hire cinematographers. I sort of did everything myself pretty much. So, and I learned a lot about music licensing, which is very expensive.
Can you just tell us, I didn't know about Susan, and I didn't know about this book. Tell us what the book was about. What is that?
Yeah, what it was, so I don't know how old you are, but back in the 70s, there was a book called The Whole Earth Catalog, and it was this big newsprint book, and it was this sort of hippie guide to all things, hippie life. And so what they did, Susan and Kirsten, is they went, we need a book like that for women. And those are the days, before the internet, it wasn't easy to Google, where are the women's coffee houses, or the women's health centers, or the bookstores, or, there was this whole explosion that was happening with this movement, but we didn't know how to reach each other. And so what they did is they literally got in the car and they drove across the country and they visited all these cities and they documented, they collected flyers and they wrote texts and they published this wonderful newsprint book. The copy I was holding up, I think it says $2.50.
What year was this?
That was 1973. And I think it had a kind of a major publisher, and they were scholars. I mean, they were maybe, I don't know if they're PhDs yet, but they were, kind of scholars. And and the book was recently, 2019, I think it was completely republished there's a cool publisher that takes historic books and just republishes them without even an intro saying, we think this is important, so that's why I wrote, but they just literally copy it. And so the whole thing was republished in 2019. And I think that sold out, but you can find it online. It's called the New Women's Survival Catalog.
Great, thanks.
Hi, I'm Rick Simone Friedland, and I wrote and directed Boys Town. Terry, what an excellent question. Here's the answer.
Thank you.
I think if you had asked me what would I say to queer artists who want to make a short film?
What would you say to queer artists who want to make a short film?
Excellent question. I would say go out and make your film, because that was my first film. I've made films since that one, but I decided that I was going to do it anyway, cast myself, cast my friends. I'm going to sing in it. I'm going to do everything I know how to do. And if it's terrible, that's fine, because then I'd learn and then I would get better the next time I do it. So if you have a dream about something you want to create as an artist, there's just no time in life. Just do it. Be brave, do it. If it's bad, that's okay. Be better the next time you do it. So that would be my opinion.
You're so right. You're so right.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tom Adcox Hernandez, and I had the big line of saying no to my friend. I didn't do much in the film, but I was so glad to be part of it because Rick is just an amazing human and an amazing director.
Did you improv at all?
No, I didn't. The what do you call it, scenes where I was showing them how to play tennis, that was improvised,
Okay.
although I do play tennis. As a gay actor, you know, I was kind of closeted for years when I first came out, like I think probably a lot of actors were. And then I was on Falcon Crest for 1 year, the last year of the show, and I had love scene. It was my first love scene with a woman, and it was so all the guys, all the grip trap, oh fuck yeah, Tom, yeah, you get to get with Andrea, this hot, beautiful actress, Andrea Thompson, and who lives in Mexico now, and she's a real estate agent. Anyway, so I had a sex scene with her, and I remember just sweating, and I'm in this like tan-colored G-string, and I was just like, oh my god. And she's biting my inner thigh when she's down under there, supposed to be blowing me, and it was. Anyway, that I don't know where that story came from, but
This is network TV we're talking about?
but I was glad to finally, like in my Wikipedia, it finally says Tom Adcox Hernandez is openly gay. And it was like something I would strive for. I didn't know how to, I'm not very technical, and I didn't know how to, you know, get that in there myself. And finally, I did a cartoon called Gargoyles, and I was Lexington on that show for 5 years. That's a great show, isn't it? Anyway, they were going to make the character because Greg Weissman was the director and creator of the show, and he was going to make the show. He was going to make my character gay, and I found that out. He said, "We're going to make your character gay," and then the show got canceled. So, but he talked about it at all the Comic Cons and stuff. I go, I sit there like, I'm gay, and so finally on Wikipedia it says he's openly gay, and that's my story. I'm talking way too much.
Obviously, you need more than just one word in the next film.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I did lights and also co-directed the teaser of Welcome to Toolshed with one of my best friends, Andrew. I think Light came out of, again, wanting to just make something during the pandemic when we couldn't do anything. My brother was in Chicago, and Will, and so I was like, I'm gonna write this crazy thing about this kid we grew up with, and you're gonna do this, because he's a younger brother, so I was like, no matter what, you're doing this. And he's an amazing actor. And so it was literally just kind of like, we're like, how, do we do it? We were really inspired by Roger Corman's just kind of like, do it no matter what attitude. So I wrote about kind of a kid that I grew up with that people had, especially people in the queer community, had no tolerance for. But I always had a lot of compassion for this kid who ended up actually killing himself after he was married. And so I wanted to write about him. He grew up very religious. His father was a pastor in Oakland. And so I was like, I always just kind of imagined what was in his head all the time, and so that's what that was.
Why did you call it Light?
Because I think that's what you're always searching for, even in the dark. You know what I mean? And I think his husband talks about light and trying to be light for him, but he isn't able to kind of capture that. Do you know what I mean? And so I think that it's what we attempt to give people we love, and they can't always find it in a way. And so I think that's why I called it Light. Maybe. It was a long time ago and I have no brain left. But it also came out of wanting to make queer films no matter what. Like my mom was like, "Oh, you're bisexual," when I was like 4, because I married my friend Aspen and my friend Sierra at the same time. We made out with both of them, much to their parents' horror. And so it's kind of been a thing of my entire life. But it was like, coming off of the pandemic and then the strikes and stuff, everyone was saying there's no financing for queer stories, and I was like, okay, cool, then we just need to make them no matter what. And so this was the first film that we made no matter what, for zero.
favors, learning things, and so it came out of that. And now I'm going to pass off about the other one to Andrew.
So you see, Daniel makes very heavy dramas, and I make experimental films and horror movies. So of course we're the perfect pair to come in and make a documentary. Yeah. So what I want to say, the question that is what that jump from making films that we make to documentary. The real big thing is being welcomed, and like Rio and Robert here, and a lot of people from Toolshed. It's a huge leap for them to allow us into the bar. And right now, like I'm looking around, and that place has become such a I found community there when I didn't even know that I was missing that in my own life. It reminds me so much of where the world was in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. It's like a cycle over and over again. And what's really great is that we persevere, we find community, we are a chosen family for ourselves, and people show up and show out for each other. It's a saying that our little queer film group has, and we try to do that for each other. And I was really inspired. This is a generation that we talk about, the HIV/AIDS crisis in the film, and it's a generation who didn't expect necessarily, for another day. Every day is, not a given. It's not taken for granted. And it's really, it's a blueprint for aging and family and showing up for everybody. So thank you all for, welcoming us here at Gulf Springs.
How did you choose Toolshed?
So Larry Kramer was a really dear friend of mine. He was chosen family to me. I loved him very much. And when he passed, it was during COVID, and so we couldn't go to his memorial in New York. And so there was like an Echo Park memorial with some of the old ACT UP folks. And I knew a lot of the New York friends, but not the LA friends because I had just moved there. And so I kept hearing about this bar during Echo. They were like, oh, the Toolshed. I work at the Toolshed. I was like, I had no idea what the fuck they were talking about. And I was like, what is the Toolshed? So my grandma lives here, or part-time. And
She goes there a lot?
She goes only to underwear night on Thursday. Prada makes amazing underwear. So I kept hearing about this bar, and when I was like, oh, let's go check this bar out, and what I heard from them is that after they lost everything during AIDS, that they found their second chosen family at this bar. And so I was like, oh, there's so much our generation can learn from the warriors that I think it's so funny that everyone could, uses faggot or whatever as a slur of weakness, when really they're the strongest people I know in the world. I mean, if you look at what they've gone through, other people literally, and I go so I was just so fascinated, these warriors that survived, the ones that kind of came back from war, found their new family at bars like the Toolshed. And so I was and then I met Robert, and I fell in love. I think he's amazing, and Rio, and I was just these guys are fucking fantastic, and I want to with Andrew, try to tell a story of some sorts. And so I hope to honor you guys because you're amazing, and we're gonna work really hard too. So.
My name is Lonnie Paul, and I was the creator of The Burbles.
How about that cast? Did you see the cast?
Yeah.
I just asked some friends and family, and I said, you want to be a cartoon? And they all said, hell yeah, including Jason here. I just wanted to say also that I'm honored to be up here with all of you. You're very talented artists, producers, writers. I'm flattered to be here. I had no statement to make. I was just drawing funny characters and putting funny words in their mouths. So that's my story behind this. Do you want to say something?
What's happening with the Burbles? There's more Burbles.
Actually, I met another producer. He worked with on Shrek and the latest Scooby-Doo. His name is Sean Bishop. And we're working on the Burbles, and we've renamed it Ma-in-Law. It's going to be based more around the mother-in-law character. And
who is Carol Burnett? The mother-in-law's voice is Carol
Yes.
Burnett. Yeah.
Wow.
And Amanda Wiss now is taking the place of Judy since she passed away.
Judy played the
wife.
Wife, yeah.
And but Robert Romanus is still the husband, from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and we'll find a nice part for you, other than just ancillary characters. You want to say something?
Yeah, it's he said right. It's just a really cute, fun cartoon, and what's really interesting about it. So I don't know if everybody knows me. I'm an actor and a comedian, and I work primarily in episodic TV and a lot of indie films. And so when somebody lets me be a part of their piece, whatever it is, when I get to play any kind of character, whether the character is straight or gay, it's just such a gift. And at my age, I know how hard it was for us, as the other gentleman was talking about, how hard it is to get into this place where people just think of you as an actor, not an openly gay actor. And for me, I didn't even remember, because I remember we were doing it. I thought, am I doing another character? Oh my God, what voice am I going to use? I played the two guys playing poker. Is that right? Is that me?
Yeah, quickie question. Did you have him sit in his underwear to draw him?
I didn't have to, but I.
Yeah.
I was already in my underwear. I showed up that way because that's what the gays do. So it's always a gift to get hired by somebody to do a piece. And then when I heard Carol Burnett and Terry was in it and Paul was in it and everybody
Different ones. We were in different ones, not that one.
different things that he'd worked on, so I wanted to be in it too. And thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. Thank you all. So, I know that's a long time, but does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Yes.
I wanted to thank you guys for creating such relatable, vulnerable content, not only as individuals, but as a community. I was wondering if you guys saw anybody else's works that really resonated.
Does anybody want to answer? I got to.
Repeat the question, please.
Were you inspired by anybody's else's work that you saw tonight?
Any other filmmaker's work?
Yeah.
What I'll say is there's a lot of folks on this panel who I consider really great friends, and I'm insanely inspired by their work, and especially like facing kind of what we're heading towards, what we're facing in this country right now. They actually help me get up every day as a filmmaker and go like, people like Sherry, who I met at Tallgrass, and Sydney, who I think is extraordinary, and Tyler and Chris, and like we're all friends. I think we all have each other's back and have different styles in film, and I know that if I need them, they'll show up, and I hope they know I'll show up for them. And I think we have a really badass fucking community, so I would love to see MAGA try to take that out, because we'll fuck them up.
Yeah, so in a very small world, I'm director of programming for this LGBT film festival called Stamped in Pensacola, Florida. And the name Stamped came from when LGBT folks were facing discrimination in the 90s. They would stamp their money with pink triangles or their credit card receipts to show how much money they were pumping into the economy, because Memorial Day weekend is a big destination for LGBT folks. So that really worked, and it started to turn the tide just in that community. So at any rate, I go out and I find films, and so last year I found Stand Behavior, that's Tyler's film, and I thought it was going to be perfect because I know Pensacola has a pretty vibrant drag community, and I've seen some questionable behavior from patrons towards drag queens. So I programmed it, and then it was just coincidental that Tyler's short was going to be in this block. So it's just kind of fun how things come full circle, and it went great at Stamp. They loved it.
Anybody else? Yes.
Daniel, what's the yellow ribbon mean?
Oh, this is my grandma threw a dinner, and she loves party favors, so she had her ribbon on, so I put my ribbon on. And I didn't know how to tie it correctly, so either Zvi or Andrew tied it, but I can't remember who. But I'm very thankful. So this is in honor of my grandma, who's badass.
Sweet. And her panties at Tool Shed. Yeah, Prada panties. Anybody else? Yes.
Yeah, there were so many amazing performances in these, but Will's performance, to get that level of intensity and to sustain it without a drop, without a wiggle, without anything, how did he react when you proposed this to him? Because it's a big deal.
I think Will and I really share a very similar heart and brain, and he's very straight but very protective of me, and I think he knows these guys. Like he grew up kind of in a really very hetero, kind of, white hetero dude. He was a boxer, like all of that. So he knows these guys, but he's actually a total romantic and very soft and very loving and very vulnerable. And a lot of people don't see that in him because he's such a dude. And so I was like, oh, I want to see that side of you. And I think he trusts me a lot, and I trust him a lot. And it was very quiet, like there was nobody out. So I think he felt like he could sit in the parking lot at 2 a.m, which is what it was, and kind of shed something very vulnerable because there was no one there to see it in a way.
That could be his demo, that was.
He's amazing. I mean, Will's like been on Broadway. He's a really successful actor. So he's started with Sandra Bullock, and he's very successful. So I love him dearly, but I like the crazy weird shit we do because he doesn't get to do it that much. And so I also just I think I know his demons and he knows mine, and so I think we shared that in that film, even though that's not our specific demon. We were able to show it with each other, if that makes sense.
Great. Anybody else? Yeah.
Regarding the stand behavior, really appreciate you bringing drag into a more personalized, get to know us who we are kind of thing. Been a drag queen years ago, now I'm just a gender talk. But I really appreciate the way that you present that. I mean, that is the way it's not just a bride party. You get some wound up promos that are like three sheets to the wind, and that works. But you don't see people humanized who are drag queens. Frequently they're demonized, even within our own community. And it's unfortunate. So thank you for that. Beautifully done.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
I would love to see you explore it more.
It's on the budget.
Yes.
Tyler has a badass feature that he's working on, which is amazing. Get ready for that.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big question. And it's everyone affected, are people developing these shorts in?
Did you all hear that? Is anybody developing their short into a feature? Is anybody doing that? Yeah.
Well, it's not a feature, but it was proof of concept for a series to follow that character as he navigates the world as a newly single, middle-aged gay man, which was the idea about the film came out of a conversation I had with a friend where I was standing in a bar and I was too old and I was wearing the wrong clothes and I didn't know any of the music and all my friends were on their phone and I was like, Jesus Christ.
That's Palm Springs, honey.
Well, it's West Hollywood too, but I thought to myself, God, if God forbid I was suddenly single, what would I do? I'd have to come out all over again. So that's proof of concept for an idea of a series about that character going on and trying to find his way in the new gay world that we live in today.
Yeah.
To answer that, yes. We are planning to make Saturday Ritual into a feature. There's so much more to expand on. Yeah, with the girls and just how they get to the psychic, what that looks like after.
Maybe we'll have the twins by then.
Yeah, maybe the twins will appear. Who knows? It got cut off a little bit in the export here, but it showed like 6 years later. It'd be cool to just expand on that a little more. Yeah, we're in development for it. Just classically trying to find the funding. We last screened at Cannes Film Festival, where actually your film screened as well, in the American Pavilion Emerging Filmmaker Showcase, and that seemed to be very fruitful. So fingers crossed, let's get a feature version of Saturday Ritual out there.
Great.
So I do want to expand more than he knows into a feature film, but before that, actually going to make a feature film that Helena Alexis is going to be in as well, and her dog Zeus. Her dog Zeus is right here, and he's going to play Zeus. And it's called The Foot Longing, and I play a character who, see, look, Zeus, I mean, he's adorable.
Come on out, Zeus. We want to see you.
Zeus will need his own trailer.
Oh my God, it's adorable.
Oh.
Hello, Zeus.
Oh.
Now he just stole the show. No one's gonna look at anything else.
So I play a character who lives a very quiet life with his husband in Los Angeles, and then my husband dies unexpectedly, and it's 2 years later, and my friend Greg, who's played by my friend Greg, who's in a wheelchair, and Greg is someone that I've learned a lot from, and my character has a lot of judgment about this excuse me, world called the devotees, which I don't know if people have heard of this, but this is people who have a fetish for somebody with a disability. They call it devs for short. So my character has judgment about the devs world that Greg's involved in, but really I'm projecting my own shame about having a foot fetish, because I can't even call it a fetish, that's why it's called the foot longing. So Greg eventually gets me to try to explore my foot fetish that I never got to explore with my husband because he was not into it. So he brings me to a relationship specialist, and she takes one look at me and she says, Palm Springs. So I go to Palm Springs to start exploring and open up my heart a little bit and meet all sorts of new people. And actually there's a lot of people that we've cast, because we'll film about half of it in Palm Springs. A lot of people are here, so I just want to give a shout out to them.
Are you having foot auditions? Because we're all actors here.
I mean, if people want to model their feet, I'm not opposed. So if you want to give a little wave when I say your name, Ron Coronado, Tracy Engelking, Dave Rossi, Alan Sanderfoot, our director, Stephen Konchelik, they're all here. These folks could not be here, and they were really bummed they could not be here. It was Mike Ridgway, Steve Becker, and Rob Kessinger-Dank. So we're super excited to make this film in Palm Springs in LA.
Hey, good luck.
Yeah.
Okay, it's late. I need to let you guys go. So let's hear it one more time for everybody up here. Thank you, Paul and Stephen, for putting this together. Thank you, everybody involved. Thank you for coming. This amazing support. We're so appreciative. Thank you.
Unofficial after party at the underwear tonight at Shed. At the State House.
Oh, drawing.
And I won't say what I'm saying.
Is it, Paul, you have a raffle? Paul, Stephen, you guys have a raffle?
There's more.
Wait a minute, everybody, there's a raffle if you have your tickets. Sorry. Paul and Stephen, where are you? Oh, they're getting it. Okay, hang on 1 second for the raffle.
Okay, you guys have your tickets ready? We're giving away 2 prizes. We're coming to the gay shorts, the summer gay shorts. I'm going to pull the first one here. This is for a pair of tickets to our upcoming Baby Jane parody with director Billy Clift. If you haven't seen it, it's an amazing film, and wish you all luck. Here we go. Drum roll, please. The winning ticket for the 2 tickets to Baby Jane, which is on August 28th, is $12.47. Okay, 1277, $12.77.
All that.
Okay, tickets are right on top there. Congratulations, and tell us your name.
Andres.
Where are the fans?
Andres. Paul, Stephen, and congratulations. And all the information's on that. Just present that when you come back. Congratulations. Okay, the second prize we have here is an autographed, right there at the bottom, the CD. The autographed, my husband needs his glasses, so yeah, he's not got them on his face, Jan Brady. Okay, this is Mike's CD. It's called Mixtape Big Game. Where did Mike go? Mike. He might be out in the lobby. Okay. Well, Mike has signed this to the lucky winner of this CD, and you got to see him perform, but this has got a lot of songs on it. Again, it's called Mixtape and signed by Mike Mamoni, and the winner is
1305.
1305. We got 1305. 1305.
1201.
That's me! Hey. Wait, who? I shit
Oh my God. Who? deserves this the most tonight. Let's give it up for Raymond. I trust you. Let's give it up for this guy, making sure every single person that came here tonight got a seat. And just, I want to just thank you one more time. Thank you all for sticking around for the Q&A. The filmmakers, thank you. Thank you one more time to the Mary Pickford Theater and their wonderful, wonderful staff. JP, you're up there, right? Yeah. And James and Ted Hain, who's the manager of the Mary Pickford, and also Jesse. All of you guys have been tremendous help. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to you guys and our filmmakers. We'll see you. We'll see you next time for Baby Jane on August 28th. And actually, yes, once again, because I thanked you before, and I got to thank him again, our board member, Alan Carvalho, who did the videotaping and also the lighting. We went through all levels to get that second lighting. And then also James and Dan, where are you guys? Thank you, boys, for assisting me checking everybody in tonight. Thank you again, and we'll see you on August 28th for Baby Jane. Take care, everybody. Have a good night.